guys, happy Tuesday. It was really fun doing that Zoom meeting yesterday. So those of you that did join us, it was a really good time. If you did not join us, check your email at District 87, which is your student number at students.district87.org. It's a Gmail account, so you can go through the Gmail app. Check that your email, and you'll be getting invites from me. I just sent an invite for next Monday. We're going to meet at 10 instead of 9 because I have a meeting at 9 o'clock with Mr. G. So just keep checking those emails, and that's how I'm going to be contacting you guys. So anyway, without further ado, restart. We are on chapter 13, and chapter 13 today is being told from the point of view of Shoshana Weber. And remember, her brother was really bullied by Chase and ended up leaving the school and going to a different school because Chase had bullied him so bad. So Shoshana hates Chase. So just put that in your brain, and here we go. I get it. We're nerds, the video club, I mean. We own it too. Take something meant as an insult and be proud of it. Nerd power. After all, the shoe totally fits. We wouldn't be as happy doing whatever it is the so-called cool people do. That's how I've always looked at it. We are who we are, and we're good with it. I figured the others felt the same way. Who cares what the popular kids think of us? Was I ever wrong about that? As soon as someone from the A-list showed even the slightest interest in Video Club, we all went weak in the knees and lined up to love him. My friends used to act like attention from the cool people meant nothing to them because they never thought they'd get any. But now that they've had a little taste, they're hooked. Brendan, who was bullied by Chase almost as much as Joel was, has turned into Chase's biggest fan. And none of those sheep can stop raving about Chase's amazing suggestion for my National Video Journalism Contest entry. I can think of a lot of words to describe Chase, and amazing isn't any of them, except maybe that it's amazing he isn't in jail. On the other hand, well, that contest is important to me, and it's not like I've got a better idea. I did a little research on the Medal of Honor, and it turns out to be just as special as Chase says it is. Even a broken clock gives the correct answer twice a day. That's figurative language. When you say a broken clock gives the correct answer, so even someone who's always wrong will be correct once in a while. It's kind of what that means. I figure I'll go talk to this Mr. Soloway. If he really did win the Medal of Honor, I owe it to myself to check him out. On the walk over to Portland Street, my phone pings. A message from Joel. So this is a text. Joel says, "Where are you?" Shoshana says, "In town." And Joel says, "Hot date?" "Yeah, right. With a guy who must be at least 80. I thumb back. It's Video Club business. Huh? Meeting possible subject for contest video. Korean war hero. Wow, where'd you find him? I hesitate. I never told Joel that while he's suffering at Melton, Chase has moved in and has taken over his spot in the video club. It would only make a miserable situation worse, and I'm definitely not going to admit that Chase put me onto Mr. Soloway. I don't like keeping secrets from my brother, but there are some things you just can't say. Maybe in a few months, if Joel starts fitting in at boarding school and making some friends there, or at least not hating it, I can break the news to him and he won't care so much. So I message back. He's a friend of a friend. I put away my phone, praying that he doesn't ask for more information. Joel is a cross between a prosecuting attorney and a bloodhound if he gets an idea that you're holding out on him. Especially now when he's lonely and bored with nothing better to do than to think about home. At Portland Street, I ask at the desk, and they direct me to room 121. As I make my way through the halls, I get a sense of just how elderly some of the residents must be. My grandfather is 73, and he still rollerblades every morning. These people are way older than him. A lot of them must be in their 90s, or maybe even 100. The door of 121 is ajar, so when I knock on it, it swings open. "Mr. Solway?" I ask tentatively. A gruff voice announces, "We don't want any." I'm not selling anything. I step further into the room and I get my first view of him. I can't see him directly since he's facing away from me, watching a news channel on TV. He's short but sturdy, with thick white hair. "I just want to talk to you. I'm in the video club at my school and..." "You call yourself a governor?" He bellows suddenly at the TV. "You couldn't run a hot dog cart. You're an idiot." I keep talking. I do that when I'm nervous. Well, and there's this national contest where you have to interview a senior citizen who has had an interesting life. He turns in his chair and fixes me with his burning gaze. "Do I know you?" I'm still babbling. "Well, and I heard you were awarded the Medal of Honor in the Korean War." He reddens. "Is that what this is all about? That medal doesn't make me any more special than a lot of other people who were there. Go interview one of them and leave me out of it." I'm trying to be reasonable. "Don't you want your story to be told?" "No, it's my story. It's enough for me to know it." By now, I've caught sight of the picture of President Truman hanging the medal of a younger Mr. Soloway's. Warren, you just bombed me.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. You guys saw Mr. Dobson. I'm sure he'll be back around.
I apologize.
I'm gonna keep rolling. I'm trying to be reasonable. Don't you want your story to be told? No, it's my story. It's enough for me to know it. By now, I've caught sight of the picture of President Truman hanging the medal around a younger Mr. Soloway's neck, and I'm convinced that he has to be my subject. A lot of kids my age don't understand the sacrifices people like you made for our country. Don't flatter me, kid. I'm 86 years old and there's precious little left of me to flatter. I don't want to be interviewed. I don't want to be thanked. All I want is for the dining room to stop serving creamed spinach. I'm completely defeated. This guy is impossible, absolutely determined to stew in his own misery. He almost reminds me of Joel, who's so ticked off at where he's ended up that he can't allow himself to try and make the best of it. We'll wait for the tornado siren. This is just like when we're at school, guys, and I get interrupted. All right, it's going to be loud just for a second here. Here it is. Here it comes. It's really nice outside today, so I have my windows open, which is why it's so loud. And it's, I don't know, I'm wearing shorts, and it actually feels really nice. So I hope you guys can play outside a little bit today. All right, give it one more. I think it should be done in just a second. $10 o'clock on a Tuesday. I think we're good. I'm completely defeated. The guy is impossible, absolutely determined to stew in his own misery. He almost reminds me of Joel, who's so ticked off I have half a mind to start this video over, but I'm just going to let it keep rolling and you guys can talk about how much fun this was. All right. I'm going to start that whole paragraph again. I'm completely defeated. The guy's impossible, absolutely determined to stew in his own misery. He almost reminds me of Joel. Who is so ticked off at where he's ended up that he can't allow himself to try to make the best of it. Because then he'd have nothing to complain about, and complaining is the only thing that keeps him going. It's still going. The difference is that Joel has every right to be angry at the curveball life pitched him. This old creep is just plain mean. I'm about to go back out the door in defeat when a familiar voice announces, "Good news, Mr. Solway. I snagged the last prune Danish." And there he is, the alpha rat of my family's nightmares, bearing a pastry on a paper plate. He's got on a name tag proclaiming him to be Chase, volunteer. The change in Mr. Solway is incredible. His crabby glower morphs into a grin that lights up the room. Come to think of it, it makes perfect sense. Who can cheer up a miserable jerk who would never give anybody else the skin off a grape? Only another miserable jerk, someone even nastier and more selfish. The two of them were made for each other. Then Chase notices me. "Oh, hi, Shoshana." His smile disappears when I glare at him. "Wait a minute," Mr. Solway exclaims. "Is she your friend, Chase?" He nods. "We're in video club together. I'm the one who suggested you for her project." The old soldier thinks it over and comes to a conclusion with a curt nod. "That makes a difference. I'd be happy to help the two of you out." I don't like the sound of that. I don't have a partner for this contest. And even if I did, the last person on earth I'd ever choose would be Chase Ambrose. But if I say that to Mr. Solway, I'll get kicked out again. And this time, for good. I turn furious eyes on Chase. He gazes innocently back. I know that somewhere deep inside, he's laughing at me. Well, it looks like I have a partner, whether I want one or not. And I don't. How am I ever going to explain this to Joel? All right, that's the end of the chapter, which probably should have taken, see, we're at 13 minutes. Probably should have taken 10 minutes, but we had 3 minutes of excitement. So next chapter will be Chase again, chapter 14. We'll do that tomorrow. I hope everyone has a wonderful day today. Send me an email. Tell me what you did. Tell me what kind of fun you had. My fun today, I am going to be grilling out, doing that. Mr. Dobson is home. He's on his day off, so I think we're going to rake the yard and maybe mow, all that fun stuff. So, hope you have fun as well. I'm sure you won't be mowing, but maybe you will. We'll talk to you guys later. See you tomorrow.